Welcome to the live streaming from CGTN. I'm reporter Wang Siwen. Right now I'm standing in front of the Qiantang River, which is known for having the world's largest tidal bore. And this place has gathered thousands of visitors to appreciate the magnificent view of the Qiantang River tidal bore. Well, the best time to appreciate the tidal bore is midway through the 8th month of the Chinese lunar calendar, which is now through the coming days. Well, today also marks China's Mid-Autumn Festival. So first of all, I want to say Happy Mid-Autumn Festival to all of our viewers. Well, actually, China's Mid-Autumn Festival falls on the 15th day of the 8th month of China's lunar calendar. And the best time to view the Qiantang River tidal bore is actually on the 8th day of the 8th month of the Chinese lunar calendar, which is 3 days away, like falls on the September 13th. So a lot of people just gather here and waiting, actually expecting to see the most magnificent view of the Qiantang River tidal bore 3 days later. And this time we're gonna cooperate with Mandarin Channel. They have brought over 100 staff and set up 14 best viewing spots to bring back the full and comprehensive broadcast report. And right now I'm standing at one of the best viewing spots, and it's called the Beauty Dam. And you can see behind me, over 30,000 visitors have gathered here already. As we mentioned before, that today is a Mid-Autumn Festival, and the Mid-Autumn Festival people have a 3-day holiday. It is one of their activities, and people choose to come here to the Beauty Dam to appreciate the magnificent view of the Qiantang River tidal bore. Well, and this is my first time to cover the Qiantang River tidal bore as well. So it is. So just in a few minutes, we will see the tide is coming toward us, and so right now the tide is coming toward us, while at the same time a lot of visitors have been waiting here. And right now we see a line of tide. It is also called one line bore. It's coming toward us. Well, at the same time, we can see the tide is less than 100 meters away from my position. I can already hear the roaring of the tide already. Well, when the tide comes, the speed can break world records, traveling at 10 meters per second and forming fascinating views. And right now you are seeing the tide is coming toward the Beauty Dam. And we can hear the power of the Qiantang tidal bore already, which cannot be underestimated. Well, now the tide has approached the Beauty Dam already, and it's hitting the dam body of our Beauty Dam. Part of the tide has already passed it. And the Beauty Dam is famous for the backflow bore, and right now we can see the backflow bore already. So I have visited here yesterday. Today's tide is definitely much higher than yesterday. And we're expecting to see the second backflow. And our cameraman just gonna give us different perspectives of the tidal river. And today, actually, the Beauty Dam gathers over 30,000 visitors, and they have come here pretty early, a few hours ago, to grab a best position to have the best view of the Qiantang tidal bore. Right now we can see today's tide is not that aggressive as we imagined, and it's coming towards the dam route. And actually there are a lot of different forms of the tidal bore, and right now we have seen the playback of today's Qiantang River tidal bore. So the tidal water is approaching the dam and across the beauty dam. Right now it's a playback and it is a drone view of the So there are actually different forms of tidal bore, like one-line bore, backflow bore, cross bore are three most common types of tidal bores in the Qiantang River. And definitely I can hear the sound and the powerful sound of the river. And today we have seen the one-line bore, although the line has broken a little bit, and we have also seen the backflow bore. And I can still feel the power of the backflow bore right now. And after the water goes past the T-shaped dam, we can expect a second backflow bore. But today, we haven't seen the second backflow bore. So the whole beauty dam is about like a 500-meter long, and the wave its tide is hitting the dam one after another, and layer upon layers. And it's actually pretty dangerous to appreciate the Qiantang Tidal River as well. A lot of the securities personnel have been set up here to guarantee people's safety. Sometimes the tide can go up to 1.9 meters high, so that's going to be pretty dangerous as well. So the tide is on an upward slope, and the famous second backflow bore will happen here. And today's tide is not as big as we imagined, so we're not able to see the obvious second backflow bore here at the beauty dam. But for the coming days, especially on September 13th, like the 8th day of the 8th Chinese lunar calendar, we're expecting to see the more powerful tide. Well, today's tide is actually much bigger than yesterday's. But definitely for the coming 2 days on the September 13th, viewers will be able to see the bigger tide. Well, people can still remember on 2014 and 2015, they have seen a huge tide. So recently, the high temperatures and the drought have impacted water levels this year. And our cameraman just giving us different perspective of the Qiantang River. So it's one of the local traditions here, especially during the Mid-Autumn Festival. People gather here to appreciate the view, and sometimes like the night view of the Qiantang Tidal River. So for most of the time, the tidal bore comes during around the noon, and also another time during the night to appreciate the night view. And today we have seen over 30,000 visitors gather here to appreciate the view. So there are a lot of like viewing points, and the beauty dam is definitely one of the best viewing points, and is close to the airport. And because of the COVID-19 pandemic prevention and control measures, there are not surfers. But before, there have been attempts to surf the tidal bore, and the first person to ride the bore was Stuart from England. The 1988 record was 1.9 kilometers by Stuart. Well, then in October 2007, a group of international surfers have come here. And in November 2013, Red Bull held the first surf competition on the river called Qiantang Shootout. So right now we are seeing the Qiantang tidal river. And And now we are seeing the playback of today's highlights in the Beauty Dam from different perspectives, like from drone view and a close-up shot, close-up view. We're just gonna appreciate the amazing view for a second. So right now we're seeing the playback of today's tide coming toward the Beauty Dam, and you can see the tide river is actually pretty powerful, rushing towards the Beauty Dam, and it's a pretty obvious backflow bore already. And here is the drone view of today's playback. Right now we are seeing the playback of today's tidal bore, the Tide River. And right now the playback is like when the tidal river passed the Beauty Dam and reaching the number 4 small dam. And this is the place when the second backflow bore is happening. So the tidal bore actually refers to a phenomenon when the leading edge of the incoming tide forms a wave that travels up a river against the current, and that's what people come here to see. So the Beauty Dam has been closed for construction for a year, and this time it welcomes back visitors again. And this place has gathered about 30,000 visitors today, and definitely for the coming days, more people will come here to appreciate the magnificent view of the Qiantang River tidal bore. And right now we are seeing the footage of the visitors just finished their view today. So right now I'm still standing in front of the Qiantang Tidal River. This place is known for the world's largest tidal bore. And from our footage before, we have just seen the tide coming towards our Beauty Dam. And today's tidal bore is actually pretty powerful. And from my personal experience, it's my first time to watch the Qiantang River tidal bore, and I got really excited as well. And actually I have heard this many times, no matter from like my parents, from my childhood, and also from my friends. They have shared like tons of like pictures, and also like from the Operation Qiantang River tidal bore is a tradition for Chinese over thousands of years, and the tons of poets and artists have write poetries and like paintings related to this. And I have also talked to some like visitors. Some say they have been watching the Qiantang River tidal bore 40 years ago. And this time they traveled from nearby provinces like also like Shanghai, Anhui provinces, just come here to see the beautiful view, the magnificent view of the Qiantang River tidal bore. And as I mentioned before, the best time to view the Qiantang River is actually on the 8th day of the 8th month of the Chinese lunar calendar, so which will be September 13th, like 3 days away. And definitely to this time we have been cooperated with Mandarin Channel. They have brought over 100 colleagues and set up facilities at 14 best viewing spots to bring back the comprehensive coverage. And right now we are standing at one of the best viewing spots, the Beauty Dam, to bring our viewers like the magnificent view of the Qiantang River tidal bore. And today also marks China's Mid-Autumn Festival. So at the end of our live coverage today, we want to wish all of our viewers happy Mid-Autumn Festival, and also please stay tuned, and please we were going to have more coverage, especially on Mandarin channel and the English channel on the Qiantang River tidal bore, and especially on September 13th. That day it's expected to see the biggest tidal bore. So that's going to be all from today, and stay tuned. Thank you.